Is it possible to complete the game? So, welcome to the 11th episode of Lord of Bars podcast.
Road to Success,
And today we're going to talk about an important topic.
which is escaping the matrix we live in.
This is a big topic, so we cannot actually explain all of it and our point of view about it in just one episode. And today we're going to talk more specifically about.
That we live in a game.
But why we live in a video game,
Yeah, we like to see the world like it was really a video game. And we are the players, and we need to win the game.
And now a lot of you are gonna think, why do you define yourself a player? Who allows you to actually define yourself a player? How do you recognize that you're a player? What's the metric scale? How do you compare yourself to others?
Yeah, I could talk about many things, but I think that most that distinguish you from an NPC is the fact that you are able to think, to escape your beliefs, to have an open-minded and realize that you may be wrong and think about everything with your mind and think and also listen to what others people can say.
So, in my opinion, a really interesting point, it's what happened to a player that's always surrounded with NPC. Because in my opinion, you can actually lose a little bit the skill of a player, Try to imagine that you don't play Call of Duty for like 10 years, And after 10 years, you're gonna play again.
Yeah.
Maybe you're gonna come back faster than a normal person, but at the same time, you're gonna lose some skill and ability that you had in this game, So what happened? What do you think that happened if someone is surrounded with NPC and is a player?
Yeah, you basically become an NPC
And-
also yourself.
So the ambient is actually really that important in your opinion,
Yeah, you need to surround yourself with other players.
and you need to join the real video game, because life is a video game. People say, no, but now it's impossible because I'm also thinking, I do blah blah blah, but I don't have control of my life because you cannot control everything. That's what they say. But in my opinion, the only thing that you can control is yourself. You can control the weather,
Nope.
the relationship.
Nope.
You can control what happens around you.
Nope. Anything. You can only control your character, who you are, and what do you want to become.
Exactly. So the first question that you should ask to yourself is actually who I want to become.
Exactly.
And
What
what's
I
the
want
next
to become.
step,
For me, win the game means achieving your maximum potential. So becoming the maxed out character, like when you finish a video game where you have unclocked everything, and so you basically are like a god. You have everything, and you can do whatever you want. So that is the goal of life.
You have the console afterward, because you reach a point on your life when you actually have the console where you can actually control the game. That's like the maximum ambition, because a lot of people say you can live just with love, you don't need money, blah blah blah. But in this world where we live, how you will pay the rent of your house? If your kid needs something, they want to do sport or stuff like that, what are you gonna do? How do you think your kid is gonna react in the moment that see that everyone has whatever he wants and your kid is gonna have nothing? In this case, in my opinion, you are actually gonna become a player, because I think the player setting is gonna be set in your mind since you're a kid.
Yeah, basically, be a player means play the game. So in order to play the game, you want to win the game. And so basically, you won't settle for a normal life where you just end up working a normal job and have just a family and don't have enough money to really do whatever you want. So be a player means really doing things in a bigger scale, a massive scale.
An infinite scale, really. It's like
Win the game, win everything maxed out. You can do whatever you want.
but the point that I always dreamed big since I was a kid. I always said, I wanted to become famous. I started Instagram with 15 years old. I always did sport and stuff like that. And I was actually different from the others around me. But my ambient was a little bit surrounded by NPC, And I was also a little bit influenced from
There
them.
is something to say first.
Of course.
What we intend for NPC.
NPC is not playable character.
Yeah.
So it's when you join GTA, for example, but in single mode, in single player, and you have all these beaches, stuff like that.
Characters that
exactly they
do
just
always the same thing, and
Exactly.
they are just like robots.
they're in a script, they just follow the script that they need to follow. That's
Exactly. They obviously are necessary in order to make the game work.
exactly. So considering that, I notice a big difference now, because our goal in the moment is find more players possible and become a crew. Lord of Parks, it's actually a team of player. This is what it is for us, And since we're surrounded ourselves with player,
Yeah.
I feel way different, because when he was in Italy, I always said to him, you need to start to do reels, stuff like that. And he was always, yeah, I know, but it's not that easy, blah, blah, blah. And I wasn't actually understanding, because I surrounded already myself with some...
Settling for smaller goals, for a normal life. This was my goal in life.
So, what's the biggest thing that changed once you actually changed the people around you? How did you felt inside? Because, in Italy you didn't want to start with this real journey and stuff like that. What actually changed inside of you once you surrounded yourself with players?
It changed. Obviously, I want to play a game, because when you're playing a game, you are competing with other people, with other players. So obviously, you want to max out your character before they max out their character. So
It's a challenge, guys.
Yeah.
It's always based on a challenge. Everything you do, it's a challenge with others or with yourself.
it's a competition. You always hear people say like, don't compare yourself to others. But I think the main energy that drives you is in fact comparing yourself to others, because obviously we want to be better than everyone.
You need an example, guys. I think that the society developed that much in the last years just because with the development of internet, you actually can see what people are able to do. For example, in a lot of sport, for example, bodybuilding and stuff like that, when Italian people were just training, without being able to actually see the American level and stuff like that, they were like in a box, And now that this is developing, this fact that with the internet you can share all over the world, I'm not saying that Italy level it's like America, because that would be completely crazy. But at the same time, there are a lot of athletes that are starting to approach sport seriously. And this is also for our sport, and it's completely different way to approach. So, going back to the video game kind of therapy, let's say, video game therapy.
It's
like
amazing to see life in this way, because it's easy. Also, when you are going in the streets, just walking, and you see people doing all of the same stuff. You see always the same people there in the same spot. It's like a video game, really. You start to convince yourself that indeed this is true.
You can become sick of this. In the last 14 days, every time that I go out, I actually think that I live in a video game. You start to gain a lot of self-confidence, because in your mind you say, you know what, I'm the only player here, and then around me there is no player, so I can actually do whatever I want. I don't care about what people are gonna say, because they cannot judge you, because the power of the words of these people, it's like zero.
Yeah.
A lot of people judge us. You go around without shirt,
Yeah,
you do this.
The other day when I was going to his house, and I did see while going there, I was listening to a podcast talking also about this stuff, and I was watching people around me, and I thought that they were all NPC or robots, because really everyone just acts like a robot, like a non-player character in a video game. And then I saw him in the distance, doing stuff.
Yeah, saying hi to people in the car, just saying hi to casual
and,
people.
when I saw him, I thought, that's a player. Yeah, that's a player. The only player that I can see now.
A really important thing also of video game that actually would be really helpful in real life. What you have when you join GTA, you have missions, and you need to complete this task for actually complete the game. And there are people that just join GTA just to go around with the car, steal a car, and do nothing,
Yeah.
But they're never gonna complete the game. They're never gonna have enough money, and stuff like that. Of course, if you don't consider cheat code, that cheat code, it's also playing the game. There are people that use cheat and play the game. But in reality, you need to achieve what you need to, you want to achieve a certain mission. Okay, you set for yourself this mission, you know, or maybe life set for you, because everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
So guys,
Another thing, I think that with this topic we could also talk about like happiness. In fact, I think that doing stuff in order to elevate your character, to max out your character, is the thing that makes you happy at the end of the day. Is the thing that we call the process. Enjoy the process, because it really is the most effective way to be happy. Because I think that when you max out your character, you reach you have everything. That's amazing, but probably then you want something even greater, and that could be even more difficult to achieve. So I think that never settling, always striving for better, is the only way to happiness.
is it possible to complete the game? So, in our opinion, the answer is no, because the game it's finished in the moment that you actually settle. You know, in the moment that you say, okay, that's enough for me. But in our opinion, players are never gonna say it's okay, it's enough, because a player is distinguished from other people from the point that he's actually never satisfied. Because you know how you can say stop to wellness. You know, I have an amazing life, I could have more. Okay, but it's okay like this.
Yeah, I think that you're going to feel depressed. Yeah, there's no other way. You need to strive for more always.
If they
Another
give
way.
you more money to your work, would you say no? It's never enough, you know, it's really never enough. So thank you so much for everything, guys, and see you tomorrow with the next podcast. And I hope that you enjoyed our, let's say, team, our chat.
About this stuff.
And see you to the next Lord of Us podcast.
Bye.